Eyes on the prize, Brennan.
I'm not ready.
It did not. There we go. It did not clap itself.
Did not clap itself.
Brickmaniacs, welcome back to another sit-rep episode of Brickmania TV. I'm Slam,
I'm Brennan.
and we have a lot of cool things happening today, this Friday at Brickmania.
Very exciting.
I love a good show and tell, and we
Yeah.
have things to show off.
We have things to show.
But before we show and tell, let's talk about our promotions for the weekend, because what's happening in the store?
Well, we've got a back-to-school promotion that we're putting out right now.
It's back to school.
From between September 6th and September 12th, if you use code BACK2, that's the word back, to, and school, you will get buy two, get one free on all magazines and books.
Cool.
Yeah.
So all of our instruction books.
All of our instruction books.
Are not 2 for 1. They're
They're buy two, get one free.
two,
It's
get
not
one.
it's not BOGO. It's
Nope.
but go.
But to go.
But to go. I'm gonna pretend that was really cool. Anyway,
And
we also have
because this Osprey is dropping this weekend,
that's right.
if you order it this weekend, you get free custom
Tail
VMM
artwork.
Squadron tail art,
Mm-hmm.
which is a really big deal. It's
It's
a
a
big deal
huge
for
deal.
me because it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work,
Okay,
but we do it for you.
But this is the Marine Corps Osprey,
Mm-hmm.
and let's cut to Dan and Slam to tell us more about the Osprey. Okay. Nailing it. Just doing it this morning. All right, Dan. We are here in the actual design studio,
Yes.
and you have a new Osprey in front of
Yeah,
us.
I flew all the way from Tampa this morning with this thing.
Well, welcome back to Minnesota. The weather is beautiful here. I am happy to have this in the office. This looks great.
Yeah, this was a great build. I was able to build this whole thing with the parts I had down in Florida, and I'm actually amazed I was able to get the whole thing done. Just a couple pieces missing, but that's just life. We don't have everything, neither in my studio at home or here in the design team studio. So.
Right. I mean, sand blue is not one of the most common parts, both in our library or at
It's
Lego. For that
once in
matter.
a blue moon. I mean, I think it's going to be for the rest of this Macon Island Air Wing update. You're going to see sand blue a lot. So we just had the CH-53s and the Super Stallions, and now, of course, the Osprey was up next.
Okay, and we can all put bets on what comes next.
Yeah, it's going to be something that the Marines that fly Marines around or Marines fly. So or both.
Cool. So tell us, aside from the huge color change, how different is this from our previous Marine Osprey, which came out, I think, 2 years ago?
The Marine, yeah, it's been over 2 years. So,
Okay.
Well, I had to do some changes to get rid of parts that you just can't get anymore. So there's always that updating part. That's the reason we didn't have the Marine Osprey, because there were some crucial parts that disappeared, and we kind of held out for hopes that they would come back, but they never did. So they all ended up in the vault or static models on the Macon Island out in San Diego.
Yeah.
So updates are the blue is an update. It's not just color though, because there's so much more. There's no one-to-one replacement of the blue to gray.
Right. So you have to do a dramatic reinterpretation of the shape of the thing.
Yes.
It's a resculpt. Okay.
And the most noticeable thing is the addition of the stand compatibility. So I rebuilt the whole entire floor of this thing. Put the hatches. There's actually 2 hatches in the bottom of the Osprey. They used to be kind of simulated before, but now they're actual holes in the bottom of the Osprey. And for the sake of just having some fun, I put that GAU 17.
The minigun.
Yeah, it's a minigun. It's a 7.62, so it's like it's like full size minigun, rifle cartridge size minigun. Yeah.
So that's packing some serious firepower for a transport.
Right, and I think the idea is that this gets to the LZ, the landing zone, before any of the escorts. It's faster and has a longer range than any of the potential escorts. Like you're going to put like a Cobra gunship with this. A Cobra couldn't keep up or couldn't go that far. So it gets to the LZ. All it has is this little ramp-mounted little M240 in the back.
Little. Yes. But comparatively speaking.
Yeah, so let's see, I have it. It's all pushed in here. This did get some, it did fly here from from Tampa this morning. So there's that little ramp gun, but they wanted to pack a little bit more firepower to support that LZ. So they're experimenting. I don't think this is a standard thing by any means, but they have this minigun that it comes out of the main hatch in the bottom. and it has a full 360. It will turn. I'm doing this underneath, and so, but go onto YouTube and you can see this thing work. But it does come down. It does rotate 360. There's a little FLIR unit that come down too.
Just a little gunner camera.
Yeah, guy sits there
unit.
like basically a laptop and a couple, like a joystick type control, and you can fire all the way around. So previously they could only fire where they'd been. So when you're trying to like secure a landing zone, you don't want to necessarily have to fly over it first. So if you could see that there's enemies ahead of you using this forward-facing camera and a forward-facing gun, you might be the only firepower on the scene until this thing lands and discharges its troops.
It's true.
So, it lands and discharges its Marines, I'm sorry. Don't want to offend anybody. They're not troops.
Goddamn Marines. That's right.
So it still does all the Osprey things. You do have the variable pitch for the engine, the cells, and they are connected. If you have one of those older power functions motors, you can take this thing apart, shove that motor inside of it, and run that thing until the motor burns out, or you have a smoking pile of burnt up plastic where the friction causes things to like disintegrate over
until
time.
your gears like grind themselves together.
Right. I've ran the other ones for hours with no problems, but it does leave a fine dust. So that just leads me to believe that over time it will slowly grind that thing to pieces.
So is the world of Lego motors.
Right.
Yeah. That's always been a really cool function that they spin in unison and they're synced up.
And no matter which position you put them in, they're still going to do their thing. Actually, they spin this way.
Yep.
It's eating. We didn't do this before. It's nom, 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 nom.
Cool.
Into the mouth.
Yep. And the wing pops up and rotates into its stowed position.
It still does all that stuff. You can pop this piece up. Well, it's going to be a little more difficult.
With on the stand.
It's also that wasn't supposed to do that, but being that it's got some torque on it because of the angle it's sitting at. See, look, easy to put together. Woo! Yeah, it will do its thing. You can fold the rotor blades, fold the whole thing up. The blades do their thing. You can do all the fun stuff. So yeah, you want to have this thing all folded up. You can have it all folded up. Trust me, we'll make another video once this thing's all done and we have all the printed parts going through all the paces. So there will be an overview video. One thing I do want to point out, we did change the tail.
Yeah.
So the stabilizer's on there.
It used to be a bricks up.
It was all bricks.
Studs up, bricks,
yep,
tail.
bricks and slope. And if we wanted to print on that, it was murder because we'd have to basically put the whole tail together, print it, then disassemble it, or else send it as a complete unit. And we ended up with a little tiny insignia on the last one.
Yeah. Building a 40-part tail and printing on it is not my favorite thing. So,
Right.
this is a lot easier. It's fewer printed parts.
Yes.
You end up with exposed understuds on the inside, but
The price you pay.
Price you pay. It's going to be gorgeous.
So on the release day, this is going to be, you will be able to pick, it's an upgrade.
It's an upgrade pack.
I believe that we're going to do a promotion for the first weekend where you can get your upgrade for free. So if you pre-order this whole thing, weekend one, get your upgrade pack for free.
Sounds good to me. Yeah. So the plan there is that there are 20 squadrons that fly this currently. So I'll prepare art for 20 different squadrons, and depending on what people order, that's what we'll print. And if you miss out on the first weekend, you get a plain Osprey.
Yeah, that'll. Well, you can still get them. You just have to pay for it.
Oh, okay, got it.
Pay for the upgrade. So the upgrade will be available while the first batch is still in production. Okay. We're just going to run that whole, because we're going to make 50, batch 150, we'll make 50 of the tile packs. If you don't want one, you don't have to get one. We're only going to print what's ordered. So.
That's true. Other things of note on this model. It's got working landing gear, working tail, all the flaps, flaps.
Flaps, rudders, everything.
Yeah, stow feature.
Yep.
All the antennas. It's going to have all the sensors printed, all the windows printed.
Lots of printing on this thing.
The art for this, we're anticipating it's going to be mostly a rehash of what we've done before.
Oh, absolutely.
Mostly just
color changes, upgrades because of we've upgraded the art over time. Our art that used to be is not the same as it is now, so we definitely improved over time. Stand is not included. If you want to get yourself an aircraft stand, I do warn you that you probably want to reinforce this thing a little bit.
This is pushing the limits to what an aircraft stand can handle.
It is a bit wobbly, but I've had this thing sitting on a stand for several days, and
Hasn't gone down yet.
No, in spite of me, like my best efforts, and it did travel. I mean, this thing did travel with me, a couple thousand miles today. So.
Super solid. Okay.
Yeah.
Speaks volumes about how solid Lego Sand Blue is.
Yeah, and it doesn't crack or chip or fade like you would expect. No, you wouldn't expect that. You don't want it to be solid. There will be 4 crewmen.
Okay.
We are going to release the MARSOC guys this weekend too. It was going to be an add-on to this, but we're just like, well, that's too complicated. Add-on plus add-on, just that's too much work. So you will be able to order the MARSOC guys, but that's something for something else.
People are going to love MARSOC guys. I expect those to sell well. And it's nice that it's not tied to the aircraft.
No.
That's great.
One last thing to point out. Sand Blue, not all of these pieces are currently available in Sand Blue in current sets. So there is a cap on how many of these we're going to be able to make.
Oh.
So some of these parts, I had to go digging far and wide to be able to make what you see here, which also means that there's going to be a cap on how long this will be available. Our license is up at the end of the year as well.
So there's 2 hard deadlines for us producing Ospreys. If you would like one, this is the batch to get it in on.
Yes.
You really can't. Yeah.
Yeah, there will be a limited production run of this. Even if we do a second one, it's going to be time constrained. So, and then of course there is a cap on the number of parts available. So, yeah, get it while you can. Don't dilly dally, because just like the last one, when we ran out of parts, we had to production stop.
Okay. That is the life of Brickmania. Like, we do what we can with what's available.
Yeah, and we want to make it look cool, so we use the best parts, and when they're gone, they're gone.
Okay. Well, congratulations. It's a great looking build. I think people are going to love this, and yeah, look forward to this coming out.
Yeah, I do too.
Friday.
Just imagine it with all the printing on it, everyone.
That's my job.
I think we'll have a video. I think we'll have a render with all the printing on it before this thing goes up for sale.
Correct. Oh, nice part usage on the unicorn horns. Yeah.
It was a last minute change. There were pitot tubes. There were flex tube on there. It's like, that'd look better with
Nice.
the little unicorn horns. They really do look nice, don't they?
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Back to myself in the studio.
Okay.
Boom. So MV-22 shipping or not pre-ordering this weekend.
Pre-ordering this
Oh,
weekend.
it's such a beast of a kit. It's so cool.
Huge. It's very heavy. I carried it all the way here.
Yeah.
My arms hurt. Then again, I don't work out. You can probably tell. Anyway,
it's not the only thing pre-ordering this weekend. Our
Also-
other big drop is
we've got a lovely little kit.
tiny kit.
Tiny kit with a
figure.
minifigure. We've got the Topside Dweller with a RoboButler, as you can see here.
In our series of Apocalypse figures, this is yet another one.
Yep, this is the next one in the line. And yeah, I threw together this little, this lovely little brick nanny, did you call it?
Brick Nanny.
Brick
A.
nanny A.
Yep.
It's got
So,
a
little floater.
Yep, little floater. He's got a lovely little stand, a bunch of articulation in the arms.
Yep. Very posable.
Very, very posable, so you can
His
really...
eyes can look any old way. He can bone saw one direction, flamethrower another, and take care of your baby.
Exactly, somehow. I've seen them wave the buzzsaw. That's kind of scary. But yeah.
The minifigure for this is truly spectacular. Comes with a perfect caliber. I think it's a new brick arms, but we've perfect
Vaguely
calibered
new.
it up.
Yeah. It's the Radiate 44 Magnum.
Correct.
It's got it's a classic, like really rough looking Magnum with a red dot sight on there. So
I think it flies like this.
right? Well,
No.
he's much more top heavy.
I can't do the balance. Nope.
Ooh,
Don't break it.
almost.
Don't break it, Slime.
Don't break it.
Stop and move on. All right. So those are pre-orders for this week, and shipping this week, this weekend. We have things that you pre-ordered 5 to 6 weeks ago,
We've got the Husky, for example.
or this Booker,
Or the
which I
Booker
don't think
here
people
as
have
well.
seen with its printed parts on it. I'm just happy with how this turned out. It's a
It's-
great sculpt by Andrea, and it's got some nice little details printed on the turret. on the front.
I love the shaping on this kit, honestly. Like the angles, most of them are so very subtle, and yet they read so cleanly. I really like this kit.
It's very seamless considering the drops and whatnot. Yeah.
Very
Of
nice.
course, I didn't land on its tracks nicely. Okay. Anyways,
Someday we'll figure that out before we start rolling.
so all of you that pre-ordered your Booker, you'll be having that very, very soon. Oh, super cool.
Yep.
Boom.
We've also got, like I said earlier, the Husky TSV that's also coming out this week, and we have the ModCom Squad Pack Part 2.
Those have been incredibly popular.
Incredibly popular. I don't blame you.
Thank you, everybody who keeps ordering our ModCom squad packs. Yeah. But you'll have it soon, and those items, if there are, usually we have some that end up in our stores also. So if you didn't get a Booker, you'd like to get one, you didn't get a Husky, go ahead and check our stores, and there should be some inventory showing up this weekend.
Definitely.
Or soon. Other things.
Got some stuff pre-ordering on Monday as well.
Monday pre-orders are usually for restocks. So we have the Humvee M1151 A1.
The McTags R turret.
Okay. BKM 8092. We're just on screen reading numbers at people.
You know what this means. We assume you do. You're nerds like us, except the even bigger ones.
But that's a Marine Corps Humvee. That's cool.
Marine Corps is going to scream at us in the comments if they watch.
The Super Cobra's coming back.
Speaking of the Marine Corps, we have the Super Cobra.
H1W, the Whiskey Cobra. I was unaware of that. That's cool.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
great helicopter.
Lovely little helicopter. It's like a, well, it's a Huey, but just tiny and angry,
Super
like a
handy.
mosquito.
And the last of the pre-orders on Monday is the Panther K51. Ooh. Next gen battle tank.
Next gen battle tank.
Haven't seen that for a while. That'd be cool.
Been a minute.
Boom. Oh, there's more. The NATO camouflage Bradley fighting vehicles back.
Back around.
The Abrams.
M1A2.
Yeah, M1A2 Abrams is back. Oh, these are some huge like kits.
Yeah, we could have said M1A2, and it could have been 50 different things
Correct.
if we did
Yeah.
not specify the name.
If it was just an M1, it would be thousands of things. M1278 JLTV with a Marine Corps turret. Nice. And the 101st Airborne Paratrooper from D-Day.
Got some
is
D-Day
back.
troopers
That's a
coming
great
back.
figure.
Awesome figure. Screaming Eagles. And the Green Berets, Vietnam era Green Berets, with some perfect caliber brick arms M16s.
Boom.
A lot of exciting stuff this week.
We're restocking.
We are seriously restocking. The restocking.
Cool. That is it. That's it for this break.
That's all it is.
Yeah. We don't need to cut to you to talk about your kit.
Don't
'cause
need
you're
to.
Right here.
I already did.
Okay.
You'll see more about this at another time, I assume. Maybe. Possibly. Probably on social media.
Okay. Thanks, Brennan. And thanks to everybody. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week here on McGrandy TV.